What up, boys? It's Devin, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I cured my incurable autoimmune disease in 60 days naturally. For those of you who don't know, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is a disease where my colon is essentially attacking itself, and it haunted me for 4 years. I was on medication, constant colonoscopies, constant doctor visits, and my doctor told me that it was incurable and kept trying to put me on more and more medication. However, after a long enough time frame, I started to realize something was off here. And I didn't really believe him anymore. I started to think, you know what, there's got to be a way to fix this. And as I went down the rabbit hole, I discovered others who had cured their autoimmune disease. So what I did was work with them to create this 60-day protocol in which I followed and completely cured my incurable autoimmune disease, came off all medication, and I am now in remission. I am disease-free for over 6 months, and I have no symptoms. I enjoy my life. I eat what I want, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it naturally so that you can come off all medication and cure your autoimmune disease. And I want to start by saying, I know that you've been through a journey if you're watching this video, and I know that it's been very difficult and you've gone through some real mental challenges, but I'm here to promise you and show you, you can cure it. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's get into it. The Ironclad Gut Health Protocol, all right? This is the full in-depth 60-day protocol in which you are going to use to cure your autoimmune disease. So let's get into it, right? First of all, I need you guys to understand I'm not a licensed professional, and the information provided is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or another qualified health provider with any questions that may regard, your medical situation. But nonetheless, it is time for you and I to bulletproof your gut. So in this video, we're going to go through the intro. What is leaky gut? What are the symptoms and consequences? How to do it, consistency, dietary changes, a whole bunch of good stuff. So let's jump into it. I want to preface by saying if you follow my protocol with consistency, then you should be able to heal your gut and live a healthy life that I know we all aim for. All I wanted was to enjoy the small things in life, like coffee in the morning or a cup of fruit as a snack. I didn't have either of those things amongst many other foods that I loved for months. And I've made all the common mistakes, and I've done all the research along the way so that you don't have to suffer the way that I did. So if you're reading this, then I know exactly what kind of pain you're going through. It's depressing. I know. I had one of the worst symptoms, which was rectal bleeding. Leaky gut is one of the most complicated and depressing problems I've ever faced in my life. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars to put my life in the hands of doctors, and my doctor tells me the solution is take medication for the rest of my life and avoid certain foods and drinks like coffee. Like, really, bro? My doctor said, oh, you're going to be on this medication for the rest of your life, and this disease is incurable. And that kind of seemed like a Band-Aid solution to me, not like actually fixing the problem. So it forced me to go deep and dive into the research of what was actually going on with my body. And after weeks of research, I realized that all of this can be reversed. And the good news is that with patience and dedication, the issue was 100% reversible. So to go into my journey, my diet pre-diagnosis was that I was eating whatever I want. I thought things like protein bars and protein smoothies were good for you. Mind you, I'm a health fitness coach, right? So I thought these things were good, and I had no real education when it came to nutrition. So I ran on caffeine, and I was having low-grade coffee on an empty stomach along with processed foods, late-night sugar cravings. I drank alcohol on the weekends. I smoked weed sometimes, and that lifestyle eventually catches up with anyone at some point in life. So my first noticeable symptom was inconsistent stool. Arthritis symptoms, I literally was aching. I had IBS, I had diarrhea, I had brain fog, I had mood swings, I had short-term memory loss, I was nauseous in the mornings after using the bathroom. I would wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom like 6 times. I had bloating, I had stomach pain, and I had pain in my mid-left quadrant, like under my rib cage and my belly button. And the main symptom that scared the absolute shit out of me, literally, was rectal bleeding, which is an autoimmune condition that develops when your colon is attacking itself, which I later found out was ulcerative colitis. Now, the initial dietary changes I made, one of the first things I cut out was any bad ingredient or seed oils. And then I cut all carbs and refined sugars and all the possibilities of fried or processed foods. So essentially, I went full carnivore. So the two main things for me personally that made me the biggest difference was unfortunately cutting out coffee and sugar. And then my gut began healing. So the ingredients list is going to show what ingredients I avoid, whether on the protocol or not. Now let's go into a little bit of what leaky gut actually is, because so many people don't even know that they have leaky gut. But let me explain. Leaky gut, or increased intestinal permeability, occurs when the lining of the small intestine of the stomach becomes damaged. This allows undigested food particles, toxins, and microbes to pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream. So basically, before the food is given a chance to digest in your stomach and go through necessary digestion in the stomach and the intestines, it's going into your bloodstream before fully being digested. Here's a detailed explanation at what happens in the stomach and intestines when you have leaky gut. So here's what normal digestion is supposed to look like. Number one, the stomach breaks down food using stomach acid and digestive enzymes. Proteins are denatured and initial protein digestion occurs. The small intestine continues the digestion of protein, fats, and carbs, macros. Nutrients are absorbed through the intestinal lining into the bloodstream, and these tight junctions control what passes from the inside of the intestine into the bloodstream. Intestinal lining is made up of, I forgot how to say this, epithelial cells connected by tight junctions, all right? So digestion when you have leaky gut looks like this. Damage to tight junctions is caused by various factors such as chronic stress, which a lot of us have, poor diet, which most of us have, infections, toxins, and inflammation. Most people are ingesting toxins every single day, whether they know it or not. Zonulin, a protein that regulates intestinal permeability, can be overexpressed, causing the tight junctions to open more frequently. Increased permeability. The intestinal barrier becomes compromised, allowing larger particles that would normally not pass through, like undigested, food particles, toxins, and bacteria, will enter the bloodstream. Now, here's what happens with your immune response when leaky gut occurs. Number one, the immune system recognizes these particles as foreign invaders. So your immune system's like, okay, something's going on here. Then this triggers an autoimmune response, leading to inflammation both locally in the gut and systematically throughout your body. Like for me, it was bloody stool. My body was like in panic mode, and I was just shitting blood over and over and over. So here's some symptoms and some consequences of leaky gut. Because mind you, leaky gut is basically a symptom of autoimmune disorder. So number one is inflammation. So chronic inflammation can develop into contributing to various health issues, including autoimmune diseases, allergies, and chronic inflammatory conditions. One of my worst symptoms, like I said, was bloody stool that I had for several months. And at this point, I was determined I was going to be taking medication for the rest of my life. And I would never have thought that too many fruits or coffee could be causing rectal bleeding. I didn't think this. Let me take a sip of my coffee now. Nutrient malabsorption. Now, this is a massive issue for most men trying to pack on muscle as well. Damage to the intestinal lining can impair nutrient absorption, leading to deficiencies in vitamins and minerals, essentially becoming malnourished without even realizing it. I don't know about you guys, but my food, I get all organic stuff. It's expensive, and I want to absorb all of it. Now, a lot of guys are thinking they're hitting their protein goals, but they're not absorbing all that protein, therefore they have a belly. Digestive symptoms: bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, or irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Abdominal pain you will feel, and inconsistent stool were most common for me. I was just going to the bathroom all the time. I always had abdominal pain, but I experienced a lot of the mentioned things above as well. Now, systemic effects. So this is actually going to affect your mood, and it's going to affect your energy. Toxins and bacteria entering the bloodstream can affect various organs and systems, potentially leading to symptoms like anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, arthritis, random headaches, and skin issues. Like if you have eczema, If you have any acne or eczema, that is a direct correlation to the fact that you do not have good gut health, and you probably have leaky gut. So, arthritis, brain fog. A lot of people experience anxiety too and depression. It all starts in your gut. So would you believe me if I told you right now, my mind is as clear as it's ever been after this protocol. And another big change I noticed was I had pain, arthritis in my hands and wrists for years. And I had no idea what it was from. But now, after this protocol, I have zero pain in my hands and my wrists or my joints. So, consistency is everything for recovery, right? Here is the protocol requirements. Here is the meat and potatoes. So this is not going to be easy, number one. It's going to be extremely difficult. However, the consequences of leaky gut far outweigh the difficulty of this diet that you will endure for 60 days. If you or a loved one have leaky gut, I urge you to take immediate action, all right? Do not wait. 30 to 60 days. 60 days minimum recommended of strict protocol shown on the next page. So you need to commit for the next 60 days to cure your gut for the rest of your life. Number one is going to be dietary changes. It's going to require you to adopt a diet that eliminates inflammatory foods and includes gut healing foods, which is going to be shown on the page. Probiotics and prebiotics, you're going to need to take those to support a healthy gut microbiome. Some supplements you're going to need to take. Number one, L-glutamine. Fiber, you're going to supplement this through your food. Zinc and collagen to support your gut repair. These are supplements you're going to need. Lifestyle changes are imminent. They're going to include methods to manage stress, to get adequate sleep, and to engage in regular physical activity, aka training, which is the most important part. Now, when I began addressing these factors, then I understood it's possible to heal the gut lining and restore proper intestinal function and reduce systemic inflammation. So you need to know what FODMAP is. FODMAP, however you want to pronounce it, okay? FODMAP diet is a dietary approach designed to help manage symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome and other functional gastrointestinal disorders. Here's a detailed yet concise explanation. 1. FODMAP definition. FODMAP stands for fermentable I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce those words because I don't give a shit. All I care about is the effect. The effect is they're short chain carbohydrates and sugar alcohols that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. Foods high in FODMAPs, the FODMAP diet categorizes food into high FODMAP and low FODMAP. High FODMAP include certain fruits like apples, cherries, vegetables like onions, garlic, legumes, dairy products containing lactose, wheat-based product, and certain sweeteners like sorbitol, mannitol. These are high FODMAP foods. And then low FODMAP foods include options like meat, fish, eggs, certain fruit, certain vegetables, lactose-free or raw dairy, and gluten-free foods. So ignore FODMAP until you reach phase 3. All right? You don't need to worry about this until you get to phase 3, but you want to avoid high FODMAP foods and focus on low FODMAP foods. Now, foods that cause leaky gut, aka high FODMAP foods. Let's break this down. Certain foods contribute to or exacerbate leaky gut syndrome by promoting inflammation or further damaging to the intestinal lining. And these foods include, number 1, processed foods that are high in additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients. Number 2, refined sugars and carbohydrates found in sweets, pastries, and sugary drinks. Number 3, gluten present in wheat, barley, rye, grains, and oats. No oats, no preservatives, no processed foods. Be careful with your carbs and your sugary drinks, okay? 4, pasteurized dairy products, or basically any dairy that is not raw. So any cheese, milk, yogurt, cream cheese, cottage cheese, all are shit. The only dairy you should be consuming is raw. Now, all seed oils, obviously, sunflower, safflower, all these corn syrup, all these, seed oils, avoid them at all costs. 6, alcohol. Alcohol can irritate or damage your gut lining, and it surely will. 7, avoid any nuts or seeds because these are hard on the digestive system and the stomach must put in more effort to digest nuts and seeds while on recovery, I recommend no nuts or seeds. Mind you, all the stuff I'm giving you must be followed for 60 days. Now, processed meats like sausages, hot dogs, deli meats are shit with additives and preservatives. Avoid all that crap. The one that hurts the most, okay, this is gonna sting, is fruits. Most fruits should be avoided on a gut health protocol, with the exception of berries in very moderate quantities depending on the individual's journey, and I recommend none for 60 days. Guys, when I did this protocol, I didn't have any fruit and it hurt. I missed it, but it worked. That's all that matters, is that it worked, okay? Eliminating or reducing these foods while focusing on a lifestyle rich in whole, nutrient-dense foods can support and heal your gut health. So here's the protocol broken down on the next few pages, okay? The Ironclad Gut Health Recovery Protocol. Let's go. I want to preface by saying, if you want the most effective and highest chance of recovery, then you need to follow every step with no exceptions. The number one most important thing is consistency. Most important thing. You have to be strict. You have to be consistent. If you mess up one time and eat a food that your body finds as a trigger, it will potentially put you behind and you will lose progress and we will have to start back over. So trust me, I've had my battles with this. You don't want that. Do the protocol, stay consistent, stay strict, and heal your gut. One time. You have to do this one time and you'll be done with it. Guys, I did this for 60 days. It's been over 6 months and I haven't had any symptoms. I only had to do this once. So it took me much longer than necessary to heal my gut in the first place because I didn't take this seriously the first time I tried it, and I should have. My triggers were coffee, sugar, or foods that turn into sugar, like certain carbs and fruits. And I remember one day I was over the diet, I was sick of it. I had a coffee, fat date, right? And that afternoon I noticed I had severe bloating, and later I had pain when I was trying to use the bathroom. So this is when I realized one mistake can put you behind at least 30 days. So just trust me, okay? It's changed my entire life, guys. So just trust me and stick it out until the end. So here's how I started, and here is what I recommend. First, you need to mentally prepare yourself and understand that this is just a short period of time where you're going to have to get over the fact that you can't eat some things you love. Get over it. The best things in life start with mindset. You have to get deep into your mind and understand this is a temporary struggle to overcome a huge struggle in a short period of time. So start with eliminating everything in your diet that has sugar. That means you can't have any carbs, no rice, no bread, no grains, no fruits, no sugars, no honey, no maple syrup, no coffee. None of that shit, okay? No sugar and nothing that converts to sugar in your body. It is time to go full carnivore diet. And I'm going to explain how on the next few pages. Listen, I understand everything I'm saying right now. It's a lot. Do you want to heal your gut or do you not? You're going full carnivore. That's it. Carnivore diet is going to heal you. Also known as the all-meat diet, is a dietary approach that emphasizes consuming only animal products and excludes all plant-based foods. So the food focus, the carnivore diet revolves around any animal-derived foods such as meat, including beef, lamb, goat, poultry, seafood, eggs, and certain dairy products like butter and cheese, but it excludes all plant foods, including fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, and oils derived from plants. Certain vegetables, I consume some that didn't cause any sensitivities, but you want to just completely eliminate them during this process because this will have to be trial and error on your part. Just completely delete them for 60 days, okay? It's only 60 days. Here's the phases of the protocol, okay? Take out your notepad right now. Take out your notes in your phone. Here we go. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Phase 1, elimination phase. 30 to 60 days long, depending on severity of how your gut is damaged. But 60 days is the recommended amount. If you are in a state where there is extreme damage to your lining and you experience almost all the symptoms, you need to reassess and probably go for much longer than 60 days. Everybody has a different journey. So I've listed all the symptoms, assess how many of those you have, and try and make an estimate, okay? The carnivore/keto diet is going to detox your body and reset your gut microbiome. This is the goal of this whole process. You want to detox the body, reset the gut microbiome. So the goal is to reduce symptoms by eliminating food that irritate the gut by switching to protein-rich ancestral diet. You will experience changes in bowel movements. Stick to the protocol and supplement fiber as needed. Do you want to bulletproof your gut? Yes, you do. So adaptation is very important. You may experience a phase of adaptation where your body might experience some unfortunate symptoms, okay? Don't worry. This is your body's natural response to carbohydrate restriction, a rebalance of your hormones, and elimination of the toxins, additive agents, and chemicals. Remember, this is no fucking joke, okay? You're detoxing your body. You're gonna feel like a heroin addict coming off heroin. Let me tell you something about my adaptation phase. Number one, initially, my energy levels went down a lot. I had a lot of headaches. I was waking up throughout the night. So here's some possible symptoms. Low energy, headaches, brain fog, soreness in the throat. I had lymph nodes almost pop up in my armpits and my throat. Dizziness, bad breath, body smells, bad focus, decreased gym performance in sports, peeing a lot in the night or just insomnia in general, rapid heart rate, nausea, diarrhea, night sweats, low libido, muscle aches. This could happen for a very small period of time. But the problem is people don't understand this is normal. Okay, just understand this is normal. This is your body's being detoxed. It's like you're coming off drugs, right? Remember the medication? You're coming off drugs. Okay? So here's why this happens. Fluid regulation. Now that we are eating less or almost no carbs, insulin will drop, sending signals to your kidneys to release sodium from your body. You will notice a rapid loss of water weight since you're naturally, follow sodium and exit the body. So you're going to notice you're actually going to look a little slimmer. Energy source shift. Your body may be currently running mostly on carbs and sugar, which I guarantee you it is, as it's the main energy source, but it's time to change your energy source from carbs and sugar to fat being your main energy source. And during this process, your body will make some adjustments, and this will feel a lot like an addiction to the withdrawals that some people may have when they quit cigarettes or drugs, like I said. It's not going to be easy, okay? Now, hormone rebalancing. There will be a natural sympathetic stress response, okay? Also known as fight or flight, which would be a human's instinct to go hunt for food. So your body starts to think that it's starved from sugar, causing a release of cortisol to increase blood glucose. There is a very similar process when addicts are kicking a bad habit. So cortisol plays a major role in the body by regulating blood sugar and controlling inflammation. Thyroid hormones are also affected by this transition as they play a major role in the regulation of the body's temperature, metabolism, and heart rate. So your metabolism is going to go down a bit, temporarily. T3 hormone, specifically, may decrease, which is a hormone produced by the thyroid. This is connected to dietary carbs. So your hormones are going to be rebalancing and reshifting, and you're going to feel like you're coming off some drugs. Kill your addiction, guys. The human body is amazing. You will experience changes in the gut microbiome, or in other words, as the brain-body highway, which is what controls signals that your gut and brain use to communicate with each other. So when you cure your gut microbiome, your signals from your gut to your brain improve, and that's why your brain fog goes away. That's why you feel more energized and clear. So get this. This communication influences everything from hormones to neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA that plays a major role in addiction, mood, and cravings. That's why it's so hard. But that's why so many people have brain fog, fatigue, etc., because their gut's fucked up and they don't even know it. But it's not going to be easy, guys. But when you fix it, you're going to feel incredible, I promise. So if you are on any medications or antihistamines, make sure you don't quit them cold turkey and that you slowly reduce your intake to prevent any shock to the body. Guys, I did this the wrong way, okay? I was taking mesalamine, which is 4 pills. every single day. And once I started to get deep into this diet, I stopped it cold turkey. My body went into shock. All right, I told you I had lymph nodes in my armpits. My symptoms came back really bad temporarily. I was really fucked up. My body went into shock. So instead, what I recommend is just slowly reduce the amount of milligrams by week. So decrease very, 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 very slowly until you're completely off whatever you have to take. So this journey is very specific and different for everyone. But for example, what I would recommend you do is maybe do this protocol for 30 days, fix your gut a bit, and then, decrease the milligrams by 20% for a week. And then next week, another 20%. Do it very, very slowly, but be very careful, okay? Now, diet guidelines, supplements, and other requirements. Lemon water in the morning with or without a pinch of salt. I recommend a pinch of Baja Gold mineral sea salt in your lemon water every single morning. So you're going to squeeze a whole lemon into your water, and I recommend carrying a water canister with you every day so you can stay hydrated, right? Make sure you have a big thing of water with you all the time. No coffee, no sugar. Now, daily routine of exercise and moving your body, getting sun, outdoor activities. So what I recommend every single day is either go to the gym, get on the treadmill, go for a walk, do some push-ups, do something to get your body moving. Make sure you get 10 to 15 minutes of sun every single day on the chest and on the back. And then do some outdoor activities, even grounding. Get your feet on the ground, resets your body. So you want to take fiber. I didn't take any, honestly. I didn't take any fiber supplements. I didn't feel like I needed it. But if you want to take a fiber supplement, Psyllium husk, you could look this up and you could take that supplement. But here's what I recommend, like non-negotiable. L-glutamine. It's required for healing the lining of your intestines. You're going to get L-glutamine. The one I take is 3 capsules per day. You want non-caffeinated tea with no sugar based on your individual tolerance. So make sure you're reading the ingredients. You need probiotics. So every single day in my ground beef bowls, I will have some kimchi. In the beginning, I tried some sauerkraut, but I preferred kimchi. Raw kefir, I was also drinking that. Or you could take a liquid probiotic. Now, do not eat 3 hours before bedtime. So set a bedtime, okay, because you need consistent sleep. Set a bedtime, set a wake-up time. No eating 3 hours before bed. You need to go to bed on an empty stomach. You cannot be digesting food and go to sleep. You need your gut to repair and your cells to repair while you're sleeping, okay? Consistent sleep and eating, like I said, look, set a specific time in which you're going to go to sleep and wake up. It's going to go a long way. And try and get on an eating schedule. So once you have your meal, allow your body to enter the rest and digest state. And do not interrupt your digestion by eating more food for 2 hours. So when you eat, you're going to eat a meal, right? That's it. You stop eating. You do not pick up another piece of food for at least 2 hours. You need your body to be able to digest. Vitamins and electrolytes. Vitamin B12, critical. Vitamin D and K2, critical. Magnesium, potassium, fish oil, all these things are absolutely critical throughout this process. And electrolytes, you're going to get that through your Baja Gold mineral sea salt in your water 1 to 2 times a day. Now avoid spicy foods. No hot sauce, no spicy foods. Now let's go into cooking fats. For cooking, I recommend tallow, ghee, or grass-fed butter. Kerrygold brand is fine for butter. Coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, or avocado oil. All of the oils listed must be single source. What this means is when you pick up the bottle, I want you to look at where the origin is from. If it says it's from Mexico and Australia and this, drop it. It has to be single source, only from one country. It needs to be in a glass bottle and cold pressed only. This is important, and you cannot be lenient with these. You cannot be lenient. You got to be strict. If it doesn't meet these criteria, it will destroy your gut. All right, so here's some options for breakfast. Pasture-raised eggs. You can get them from any local farm. I can give you a place to get them if you DM me on Instagram. Any raw dairy, I can give you another place to get this as well. So in moderation, so raw cheese, raw kefir, raw milk, etc. If you like meat for breakfast, then have it. You can do beef bacon. You can do nitrate-free, grass-fed hot dogs. These are options. Avocado, I have this once a day minimum. It's good it's a great source of fiber. This is where I was getting my fiber from. Healthy fat, great for your brain. And squash. This is actually something I started implementing around 30 days in. Squash, it's really, really, really low in calorie, really light, really soft. And it's okay for some depending on your tolerance. But I highly recommend vegetables should be completely avoided for the first 30 to 60 days, and then proceed to include only low food mat vegetables at a time so you can kind of read your body and see if you're sensitive to it. So here's some options for lunch/dinner. Any red meat. I eat grass-fed ground beef every single day. Grass-fed ground beef was a pivotal food to help me cure my autoimmune disease. Grass-fed patties as well. Grass-finished if you can afford it. Beef, lamb, goat, chicken, seafood. If you're going to get seafood, make sure it's wild caught. Make sure the fish is wild caught, not farm raised. No pork. Pork is trash. All right, the pigs are eating garbage. You don't want to have pork. Organs, beef organs. I was having a lot of liver. Raw dairy, only if you could afford it, like I said. So if you want to be hardcore, by the way, and you want to heal as fast as possible, keep your snacks to a minimum. Think of your gut as a piece of machinery. The more it's overused, the more it wears out. When you eat, your body needs to go in a state called rest and digest. This allows you to fully digest your food and absorb all the mineral and nutrients from your food before you throw it out by introducing a snack at the wrong time and interrupting the body's natural course. So, keep your snacking to an absolute minimum, but if you must eat a snack, you can get coconut yogurt. You could find this at Whole Foods. Any raw dairy, like I said, in moderation. You could do beef jerky, zero sugar beef jerky, or very clean ingredient dark chocolate. There are some dark chocolates which are zero sugar. I can show you, but be very careful with these as well. This was honestly, dark chocolates were one of those things that really helped me throughout the process so that I, could curb my sweet tooth throughout it. Look for clean ingredient snacks that use monk fruit or stevia instead of sugar if you must. And remember, no foods 3 hours before bedtime. This is key. So now that you understand this, let's go into phase 2. Phase 2, reassessment of baseline gut health. After 60 days, you will be probably experiencing normal, consistent bowel movements again. All your autoimmune diseases and symptoms have to be subsided for at least 4 weeks. No pain in your abdominal area. Your skin will start clearing up. Your energy will be higher. You will have less brain fog, less fatigue, improved sleep. Once that occurs, only then can you continue to the next phase. Otherwise, you stick to phase 1 until you have reached this promised land. Some of my clients have damaged their gut and kept eating garbage foods and living a terrible lifestyle. And sometimes this requires 6 months of a year to recovery. Guys, I pulled this off in 60 days. You can too. Now here comes phase 3, the animal-based lifestyle. You guys are almost there. First of all, if you've made it this far, I'm proud of you because I've battled some demons on my way and I know damn sure it's not easy. So now that things are a bit easier, but this time you need to focus more than ever, okay? This is where I messed up. I thought I was in the home stretch and I thought I was bulletproof, but I wasn't. So pay attention to the details on this phase. Don't fuck this up. All this hard work that you've put in is not going to waste under this protocol. This is where people mess up and fail at healing their gut. This must be done strategically, and you're in luck because you have the ironclad warrior gut health protocol. Let's go. So now we slowly transition from the carnivore diet to an animal-based diet and lifestyle. So what this means is you're going to introduce those new items listed below one at a time and read your body. If you eat a small apple and you have no pain and no change in your stool, then an apple every other day as your fruit of the day might be a great fit in your diet. But if you experience abdominal pain or a change in your bowel movement from that apple, you may have a sensitivity to apples. Use this method for every new fruit, every new vegetable that is approved under the animal-based diet. So, you're going to try one thing at a time. One! And see how your body reacts to it. Key takeaway. Do not get carried away with fruits and other sweeteners that are allowed in the animal-based diet because this is where people mess up. You start eating too many fruits, you start putting too much raw honey on your raw cheese, or adding too much maple syrup to tea and your coffee, and thinking that, it's going to be fine, but you can completely revert your progress. Okay, so be careful. So, here comes the animal-based diet and lifestyle. The animal-based lifestyle focuses primarily on animal products, while allowing some plant-based foods. We continue a healthy lifestyle by moving our bodies every day, whether it's through lifting weights, exercises, or whatever your favorite way might be. Just move your body, make sure you're getting sunlight and eating all the right foods. Now, here's a list of foods allowed under this diet. Number 1 is meat. Every single day, beef cuts, okay, ground beef, ribeye, sirloin, strip, chuck eye. Beef roast, brisket, chuck, prime rib, lamb, goat, poultry, regenerative chicken, regenerative turkey, or duck. Game meats like venison, bison, organ meats like liver, heart, kidneys, not required, but it's good to have. Or you can have seafood once or twice a week, no more. All right, fish like salmon, trout, tuna, sardines, anchovies, shellfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, or mollusks like oyster, clams, mussels, or scallops. Or you could have dairy. Raw dairy only if you could tolerate it, okay? Raw milk, raw cheese, preferably raw and aged, butter, which is grass-fed, ghee, or you could try raw yogurt. Eggs, only pasture-raised organic, okay? Not cage-free, pasture-raised. Chicken eggs, duck eggs. Here's some plant-based foods. Limit these though. Strawberries, blueberries, only in moderation. Avocados, citrus fruits, squash, and personally, a lifesaver for me was sweet potato with grass-fed butter and cinnamon, maybe once or twice a week, okay? Honey, you must be raw and unheated honey, only in moderation. You can have organic, 100% organic maple syrup, fats, as we discussed, tallow, lard, duck fat. Oils, coconut oil, good for cooking chicken, olive oil or avocado oils for salads only. Cold pressed single origin in a glass bottle only. Now, as far as seasonings, Celtic sea salt or Baja Gold sea salt, and look for single ingredient unrefined salt if you get something other than these. You can have garlic powder, onion powder, turmeric, ginger, paprika, pepper based on your tolerance. Cayenne pepper is also great based on your tolerance. Use these sparingly. Beverages are water and bone broth only. So, let's summarize everything. Okay? Here's the golden summary. Guys, if you master this protocol, you will master your body's requirements and you will create a connection with your gut. So identify specific food maps that trigger symptoms and avoid them. Gradually reintroduce your absolute necessary foods that are high in food maps one at a time over 3 to 7 days while monitoring symptoms. If you don't do it one at a time, you won't know what's causing the problem. So determine tolerance levels and identify specific food map triggers. Create a sustainable, personalized diet that minimizes symptoms while maximizing variety. Incorporate tolerated food maps and avoid other or limit those that cause symptoms. A long-term eating plan that supports gut health and symptom management, ironclad diet. Continue supporting gut health with a nutrient-dense diet, rich in fiber, healthy fats, and proteins. And eventually, you can reintroduce breads if necessary, light in moderation. This consists of clean ingredient in bread, though, like no bullshit. Only gluten-free or high-quality, breads like sourdough, non-hybridized, wheat breads, or breads made from einkorn. So that's really it. And at the end here, we've got some related articles. And I just want to give you one last disclaimer. Listen, I'm not a licensed medical professional, and the information provided is not intended to be a suitable professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek advice of your physician and another qualified health provider with any questions that you might have, regarding your medical history. Now, look, guys, if you want this document, you can just DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description. And guys, if you have questions about this, you can also DM me on Instagram. My DM is in the description. But look, I'm rooting for you guys. I know this is a really, really difficult thing, but you guys can do this. I promise you can do this. I believe in each and every one of you. I have faith that you're going to make this happen, guys. All right? Stay disciplined, stay consistent. And if you need help with consistency, I am an online fitness coach, health coach, mindset coach, and we cover all things metabolism, gut health. If you want one-on-one direct help with improving your health, becoming the best version of you, revealing your full potential, and staying accountable through this protocol, book a call. Link is in the description, and we'll talk to see if we're a good fit to work together. I love you all. I wish you the best of luck. I hope this was helpful. Peace.